And
all right.
That could be the first pick now.
So Hard Rock 2 coming out. We saw this played in the last match between Emrek and Mathy. A very short map, under 2 minutes in length. And we are underway in this one, Vaxei and Lifeline, in the round of 16.
Now, I am not too familiar with Lifeline's tournament presence, nor was I really able to find too much, at least on the surface. So maybe there was just a bit more that I'm not aware of, but I don't know. I'm really interested to see how Lifeline's going to perform in a tournament setting, especially this late into a tournament against Vaxei out of all people too. But I mean, Lifeline's looking fantastic right from the get-go. With an early miss.
Yeah, and he's got the lead now. How about that? A good start here for Lifeline. He'll take the lead over Vaxei off that miss. Quarter of the way through, looking good. It's a short map too, so this could work out for Lifeline.
Vaxei just going to shrug it off, though. Really, I mean, listen, if there's a patient player in the entire tournament scene, it is Vaxei. Does not get shaken up by anything. The last person you'll see get nervous in any capacity is Vaxei. So we'll see if he can maintain his cool and get this combo back up. Maybe the accuracy on as well. But Lifeline is looking outstanding at the moment. A little bit of an act drop, but not enough to mitigate the insane lead that is occurring right now.
Yeah, again, now Vaxei will take over the lead on accuracy, but Lifeline has the combo, the FC. And as we saw last match at TN, combo gaming may very well be enough here. Vaxei will go down again, and Lifeline 600 combo, quarter of the map left.
I was going to say, I don't think there's enough at this point, especially with Vaxei's low combo. And, I mean, has the ACK advantage, but... Oh, man, are we going to see Lifeline take the first point?
We are indeed, I believe. He's got over 200,000 points in favor of him coming into this last section. It's going to be basically impossible for Vaxei to overturn it unless Lifeline basically just stops playing. Because look at that, over 300k.
Obviously, at this point, it's just all a matter of swagging out to see if he can nail that FC. And he does.
And he will.
What a hell of an opener.
That's a way to start a match against Vaxei right there. Just FC. That is how you get the job done. Lifeline, 1-0. 978k.
And Lifeline has had some pretty good matches already through this tournament. The round of 64 matchup that he had against Milk Tea, a 5-1 against somebody who is honestly looking very strong in the loser's bracket of this tournament, I think really shows exactly how strong he can be. And this is a really interesting pick. Going for Hidden 2 for probably one of the first times that we've seen it, despite the No Mod 5 ban from Lifeline, banning out that low approach rate No Mod in favor of, granted, a very different style of map, but still a low approach rate pick here in the Hidden Mod.
Yeah, I mean, you said it pretty well. And yeah, we haven't really seen low AR hidden stuff. And I mean, can you really blame most players? It's just not something. I mean, it's such low AR reading is already as terrifying enough to practice as it is, especially to perform it in a tournament setting. But add hidden on top of that, and you got a catastrophe.
Yeah, it's that low approach rate, not being able to see when that hit circle is going to hit exactly. And again, with hidden, the lower the AR goes, the harder it gets.
Yeah, and Lifeline really struggling to maintain some sort of accuracy here. A lot of instability, though. We're not seeing, like, we are seeing consistently early hits. Very common with low AR material, easily able to rush a lot of this stuff. But still holding the combo. You got to respect the strategy here in some capacity, whether you like it or not. But with a miss there, that's not going to pay off.
Yeah, Lifeline now is going to really be behind the 8-ball because of that miss. And as you see, kind of unraveling here. Vaxei carrying on with 96% accuracy in a FC right now.
This was a super smart pick on Vaxei's side, and that's probably why Lifeline opted for the No Mod 5 ban. Definitely knew Vaxei could just, excel at the more gimmicky skill sets. And, Lifeline being a more straightforward player, not too surprised Vaxei opted for this, just getting it out of the way.
Mm-hmm. And it's real good that Lifeline was able to take his opening pick because of this. But Vaxei is going to find a miss now, but look at that score. Unfortunately for Lifeline, he's just not having a good time.
No, not at all.
There is no other way to put that. This is just not a fun time. When you are not a hidden player, playing low AR hidden, It's not a good time.
No, and I think Lifeline went into this match knowing that this wasn't going to be something he was going to be able to perform well on. So just kind of, just getting this one out of the way and not really trying to, aim too precise and just, getting this one over with. It's 1-1.
Yep, it is going to essentially be a tie game at the end of this because sadly for Lifeline, there's just nothing he can do, unfortunately. He's just finding a lot of 100s, 50s, and misses. And again, you can't blame him. It's low AR hidden.
Yeah, at this point, Lifeline is probably thinking what he's going to be picking next. I can't remember off the top of my head what Vaxei banned.
It was DT2?
It had to be a DT. I figured it would be
5 and DT2, if I remember correctly.
So that would make sense. So does have 2 DTs on the board, which I think, that should definitely pay. But I mean, again, Vaxei is one of those people, where they have that harsh combination of being a brute force fast player, as we've seen in his younger years, is still able to retain that speed, but also can, like I said, do stuff like this.
Yeah, and he's developed those niche skill sets over the years. He's not just that powerful, fast player. He's developed into so much more and has made him a deadly weapon in tournaments. But Lifeline, I'm sure he will just be happy to get to the end of this map and on to the next pick.
Yeah, and I do want to clarify, I think people thought this was Lifeline's pick. It was not Lifeline's pick. This was definitely Vaxei's pick, for those who might have been a little confused at first.
Yeah, there were no breakpoints.
Yeah, at this point, we're just kind of waiting for definitely waiting for the map to be over at this point.
And there it is. The point will finally go on the board. 1-1. Again, a very calculated pick there from Vaxei. He probably definitely had that scouted and knew that was not Lifeline's cup of tea. Capitalizing, getting the point.
Yeah, that's absolutely not his cup of tea. He did ban out the Nomad 5 pick earlier on. That was definitely his ban. And honestly looked very strong on the Precision Hard Rock pick in this map pool. Not really a surprise then that he goes for Hard Rock 1 right afterwards. I find a player who is typically very good at these types of basic aim consistency picks. Some of these space streams, though, in this Hard Rock 1 pick might be a little bit tricky for either of these players. We've seen in previous matches some of these space streams really, really tough to handle well, in addition to all of the nearly cross-screen jumps in this map at the relatively low 190 BPM that it is. So see how Lifeline is able to handle it. Vaxei definitely no stranger to just basic aim consistency, definitely has the raw mechanics for this. Both of these players top 10 right now, so I'll see just who's a little more well practiced on this map, a little more comfortable on Hard Rock in general as we get into the third pick of this matchup.
Tied at 1 into round 3 now. Vaxei with a slight lead off of accuracy. Lifeline right behind, both players holding the FCs very early on.
Yeah, and we probably won't see too much deviation in scores until the first course. That's where the jumps become a bit wider, albeit very straightforward, but there's also some streams thrown into the mix, like Dio mentioned before. So there's definitely going to be a decent amount of places where the score can shift pretty harshly. But these two players, definitely are capable of FCing this. So, it's going to be a tough one to call until around the halfway point, I'm guessing.
And again, it all may come down to just those sections like the space streams, with considering these two players, because these are both players that definitely could FC deep into the map. It may come down to those later sections. But so far, Vaxei retaining about a 10k lead off of accuracy. Lifeline just hanging in there, combo gaming, waiting for a miss from Vaxei.
Yeah, both players do not want to get an eye up on the other. This is just so close right now. And the accuracy, isn't too far apart from each other. Definitely respectable performances on both sides. And, not too surprising on a map this straightforward. But if it's going to come down to push and shove, FC battle, Lifeline's going to have to catch up a little bit. And Vaxei is the last player who's going to drop any significant accuracy. Never drops an ac lead almost.
Yeah, you're going to have to, most likely it would be a combo drop here that Lifeline is going to have to take advantage of, and I think he knows that. He saw it at the break at that halfway mark.
Whoa, as I said that, the accuracy's dead even now.
Yeah, they are actually tied. Literally, they were literally tied at that moment in time.
Yeah, Vaxei struggled on that one stream, and then the second stream section dropped a few more hundreds. Lifeline is in the lead right now.
Yeah, Lifeline is very much contesting this. It may come down to accuracy, and that would be insane to say, but we still have some difficult sections coming up later here. The space streams could be the difference maker, Etienne.
Oh yeah, the solo is no joke. That's where the map becomes its most versatile, its most harsh, and it's really going to come all down to that right before the break. It's always the solo before the break in these Hard Rock 1 picks that can dictate, especially on an FC battle, where this match is going to go. Who's going to have the one-up on the other person? Who's going to be 2-1?
These players are just zoned in. Vaxei gets the lead back, but Lifeline is the first to go down. He'll go down on that stream, and Vaxei now just has to combo it home.
Yeah, and there it was. It was that solo section and Lifeline really just shaken up by that miss and missing again. And that's going to be it. Vaxei knows he has the score advantage, knows he just has to tap it in to ease their way into a 2-1 lead. And that's going to be the first break point of the match.
Yeah, this will be a break point here coming out from Vaxei. And Lifeline really played well, contested that all the way up to the very end. But, I mean, he did his best. Unfortunately for him, Vaxei is just doing Vaxei things. And that means 1,000,000 points from Vaxei, 2-1, and Vaxei will now have the pick.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, that was an FC. I wasn't even.
He didn't miss.
Yeah, just doing Vaxei things indeed. Pulls off the FC, pulls out the breakpoint also on Lifeline's second pick, and now with sort of free reign of the board also, still both of the remaining hidden picks left up at this point for Vaxei to go into if he really wants to. Definitely Lifeline's least comfortable mod category. There are also a couple of other maps in this pool that I think would do him fairly well. Things like, for instance, Pensalina, actually a very, very strong tech player, has really ridiculous solo tech scores, as well as is a pretty renowned tech player in tournament play, so something like that could do very, very well for him. If you're looking for a couple of the other similar maps to what he has already won on, then shoot, Nomad 1, Hidden 1, Double Time 1, all very simple aim map stuff that's very similar to Hard Rock 1 as well. So lots of different options.
And Hidden 1.
Second pick.
Oh yeah, Hidden 1 should be. Oh, and there it is.
Yep, that is going to be the pick. And fortunately for Lifeline, if there is one saving grace here, is that it is no longer AR8 hidden.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I think this is something Lifeline has a chance on, actually, and I'm actually surprised as well that we went from Hard Rock 1 to Hidden 1, given how close Hard Rock 1 is. Granted, it is a different mod. It is hidden, something that Vaxei is perceiving to be Lifeline's weakness, I guess. But I don't know. I think this is a more unconventional hidden pick to the point where, a lot can happen within these courses. The very convoluted jump patterns, the brute force streams at the end. There's a lot this Hidden 1 has to offer.
Yeah, definitely so. But as we can see, Lifeline already not struggling as much on this one as he did the previous one. But on to Hidden. And again, this would be a massive breakpoint if Lifeline could get it.
And I will say, doesn't Lifeline's hidden or double time scores have Hidden attached to it at times? I feel like most double time players are acclimated to Hidden in some way, in some degree. So, and this is 240 BPM, so definitely a BPM Lifeline is more than comfortable with, and we're seeing a lead. About 30 seconds into this.
Yeah, and Lifeline, again, eking out any sort of a lead here. I mean, he's staying level with Vaxei here, and that's just what he needs to do. Keep the combo up, keep the accuracy up. But now the map is going to start building here. We'll see how things stand as we get into the first Ki here, quarter of the way through.
Yeah, Lifeline trying not to be shaken up by those jump patterns here. Vaxei just throw anything at him, and it doesn't matter. He's going to FC it any day of the weekend. There is the first miss from Lifeline. It's going to be about a 15, 20K lead going into the second verse here.
And now the question is, will Vaxei find the miss? And if he does, Lifeline is going to need that miss to come out sooner rather than later for him to stay in this one. But right now, Vaxei, pedal to the metal, not checking the rear view here.
Yeah, really just showing that that first point was not representative of what Vaxei is truly capable of. And honestly, I would I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw a second FC from Vaxei. These types of maps are just, I guess, a certain even star rating range. I know that's a vague term, but I feel like no matter what skill set, you give him a range, you give Vaxei range, and if it's within his comfort zone, listen, he's going to FC it 7-8 times out of 10 on command, on the dot. That's what we're seeing so far here.
Halfway through, he's looking very good, and he has definitely been the more consistent player so far in this match. Lifeline has had his moments, though, and he is
absolutely
building. But now it's just a waiting game, and the longer Vaxei holds, the worse it gets for Lifeline. And there's the break from Vaxei, so now Lifeline here. Yeah, comeback. There is still plenty of time, little over a third of the map left. Lifeline is not out of this.
I was going to say, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Lifeline really not being shaken up here, especially as these jumps get a bit faster. You know, those quick 1-2s, something that Lifeline is very acclimated to. But those triple transitions, really making good use of those.
Nailed it. And the accuracy, look at that. The accuracies are so level too. This is so great for Lifeline. Vaxei knows that Lifeline is coming.
I can't tell you how crucial that is, that Lifeline hit that section. That is massive.
That was make or break right there for him, and he nailed it now. He's got a shot at taking a break point off Vaxei. 100K, quarter of the map left. Can he do it?
It's not impossible, especially as long as he stays eye to eye at least in the similar vein, accuracy-wise. And, I mean, that score, like you said, it went from 100K, now we're at 90K. 90K. It's just going to keep whittling down as the song goes on and as the map gets harder.
Vaxei may be able to hold on to this if he can FC to the end. But if Vaxei misses, Lifeline does go down, and that is going to end the run. And Vaxei has recovered nicely with 400 combo. He's there to seal the deal. 3-1, Vaxei.
And there's a reason why Vaxei is able to take points like this. Just he's always in it for the long haul.
Yeah, he is insanely strong mental as a tournament player. To be able to think, to put that miss out of your mind immediately and focus on rebuilding your combo, that is something that takes a lot of time to master, and Vaxei is one of the best at it.
And, you know, this is pretty similar to what we've seen in the last match, really, between Matthew and Emrek. You know, Matthew starting out really strong and then just not being able to hold on for the second half of maps. And, you know, Vaxei is just able to, you know, show their persistence, show their stamina, not just in the physical capabilities, but just mentally. It's that experience.
Yeah, right. And Lifeline really showing his stuff here. I mean, building that combo and almost running it back on Vaxei. Just unfortunate he found the misses at the end. Couldn't get the job done there, but he had a chance.
Oh, yeah. Lifeline looks so good. He looks so good in the first half of, like, everything he plays. And he looked phenomenal in that Hard Rock 1. So maybe he's just going to have to keep opting for the shorter picks. And maybe that could be something, you know, he can sneak some points.
He's actually just gone for the longest pick in the pool.
This is an interesting pick, that's for sure. We've seen not really anything similar to it from either of these players so far. We know for a fact that Vaxei is going to be fine on this map. He's a very good ult player. We saw exactly how it went versus Araxi last weekend, though. That was actually the only point that Vaxei did drop. But this is a very different kind of aim from what we have seen so far. It's very much so focused on the flow aim rather than any of the teleport aim that we saw in Hidden 2 or lots of the snap aim that we saw in Hard Rock 1 Hidden 1. I think the most similar thing would probably be the space streams from Hard Rock 1, and we actually saw Vaxei come out on top, but this BPM's far lower. There's far more transitional patterns in this map as well. Lots of cut streams and lots of transitions between that snap aim and flow aim, so it's a map that can go very many different ways depending on how well you're able to handle the whole litany of patterns that come with this type of mapping. At the start, we do see an early break from Lifeline. Vaxei still holding on to the FC, so right now it's looking like a little shaky, but a very early miss is not going to mean too much as we get into the rest of the map.
Yeah, unfortunately for Lifeline, he did pick one of the longest map in the pool, so that is going to give him some time to recover, and the timing of misses could play a huge factor in this.
Yeah, and like Dio said, I mean, this is an interesting pick. I am a little surprised to see Lifeline opt for this out of all things. I'm still surprised the DT picks are up for grabs. They're just sitting ducks at this point. And to not really see Lifeline opt for either of them is a bit odd to me. I don't know if he's saving them. But when you're down to 1 to 3, the last thing you want to be doing is saving maps for later, because soon enough, there's not going to be a later.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if Lifeline loses this pick, it will be Vaxei's pick with match points. So this is a very crucial pick for Lifeline. But it is Vaxei with the lead. About 30K now, approaching.
Yeah, and Lifeline respectably holding on. You know, definitely not letting Vaxei get the upper hand too much. And, you know, hopefully we just see Lifeline hold on for the second half. You know, if we could see some kind of flourishment or some kind of, you know, just mental capacity to really be able to hone in on longer maps like this. You know, I really hope this pick pays off for Lifeline.
Yeah, and one thing that I really hope he's able to do this map is take advantage of any miss that Vaxei throws out. Last map, Vaxei did find the miss, but he traded it. Oh, and Lifeline goes down, and he drops a lot there.
Massive pattern blunder.
Oh, man, that is not good for Lifeline. Something terribly has gone wrong here for Lifeline. And Vaxei, pedal to the metal.
How many hundreds has Vaxei dropped? 2? 1? 2?
1 or 2. It's literally insane. He's at a 99.92 now.
I will say, after playing all this mod-oriented shenanigans, this probably feels like a saving grace for Vaxei. This probably feels so comfy, so relaxed. Vaxei is in its element right now. Like,
he's probably just taking a nice breather, you know?
Yeah, this just, I mean, that's what it looks like. It looks like he's, you know, he can do this.
He makes it look effortless. But Lifeline doing everything he can to keep up, and Lifeline is a very respectable player. We've seen him keep up with Vaxei here a little bit in this match, but unfortunately for him, the consistency of Vaxei is just otherworldly. And the final quarter of the map. And it looks as if Vaxei is going to be approaching his 4th point here.
Yeah, this is another break point. Vaxei has all of the advantage here in every capacity possible. And I don't know, Dolan. I don't know where this is going to go from here.
Well, it's going to be a long and hard road for Lifeline if he wants to remain in the winner's bracket. Vaxei, after this, will just need one more to take the win. But what is that, like 3 100s?
Yeah, his aim is so smooth. The accuracy is phenomenal. I mean, this is classic Vaxei. It really is. It's just so representative of what all Vaxei fans know and love. And we're just seeing that being projected onto the screen on command.
One of the best in the business, folks. Vaxei taking a 4-1 lead off of a break point.
That score is disgusting.
That is 2 100s.
And, well, you know, last week Alt was the one pick that Vaxei lost. Definitely not this week.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, the Alt, well, against Vaxei, you remember that cast. That was the
only
that
did happen.
Oh
my god, it was on an alternating pick.
Mod 3 last weekend, the other Alt pick last week. Definitely not happening this time around. I think it was 1 slider break for Vaxei compared to an FC from Vaxei, and that was the whole reason that he lost. But
that must have lit a fire under Vaxei.
Oh, man.
I feel like
that explains it.
Perfectionist. He really is. Vaxei cares deeply about his tournament performances,
but
like very like Bubble Man, like very strict. And if there is a weakness that is sought after and exploited, they will do everything in their power to mitigate that by any means possible.
And let's be honest here, Lifeline acquiring a dub. He's getting the Vaxei mutual after this match, folks. Dub has been acquired, even if he loses.
Maybe that mutual will be the lifeline he needs to get back into
the
Dude, why did that come?
That's a knee slapper.
Thank you.
All right,
you're welcome. You're welcome.
All right.
Anyway,
okay, bye, Etienne.
We're looking at the next pick for Vaxei. We're looking at the next pick for Vaxei. We've got Sudden Visitor here, picked up by Chroma. This is the no mod 2 in this round. Remember, this is Yuki Aim tournament, not Yuki Stamina tournament. This map really not all that difficult on the stamina. Mostly focused on the stream aim all throughout this pick, all on the flow aim here. Relatively low BPM, 178 BPM, very, very low on the stamina. And It's not all that unconventional. You've got some accelerating, decelerating streams. You've got some cuts at the end of a few streams, you know, a little snap from the stream proper to another note, just like what we saw there. You've got a stickman slider in the middle of the map that we've seen a lot of people break on in pretty funny fashion throughout this round. But other than that, it's all pretty conventional, just lots of flow aim and space streams.
I will say you can't spell stamina without aim. Think about it. Something to think about.
True.
Speaking of aim, did you know this tournament is brought to you by Aim Labs, UKAIM, and HyperX?
I did not know that. Tell me more.
Well, be sure to check them out at the links down below.
Yes, sir.
Right now, it is Vaxei in front, Lifeline right behind him, hot on his heels. Lifeline knows his winner's bracket tournament life is on the line. He cannot drop another point if he wants to stay in.
Yeah, and on these stream-oriented picks, we've seen some stinkers happen on here. I mean, when we saw the oh my god, who was it? It was oh, here we go. Hey guys.
Here we go.
Hey guys in the chat. But
they hit it. Let's go.
I remember we saw Badu just not really get their momentum on these streams, and hey, that can happen to any top player. You know, it's very easy to lose your momentum on flow aim streams. It's a very reckless pick, and I respect Vaxei for just kind of going for it.
Throwing caution to the wind here, up by 3. It's kind of the most opportune time to throw caution to the wind, if you ask me. So, a good choice from him. But Lifeline is right on his heels still. Lifeline is not going anywhere. He's not budging. He's going to put some pressure on Vaxei here into the final quarter of the map.
I was going to say, I love the pressure Lifeline is just...
Oh, no! Oh, man. And you hate to see it.
Strikes again.
You hate to see it. Vaxei, though, is looking to end this right now. And unless there is a miss from Vaxei right now, it's over.
He's just going to FC it again, man. Vaxei just... Oh, my God. Just insane player.
Vaxei is unconscious. This is...
looked so good. He looked so good so much of this tournament. There were so many highlights.
And that is going to be it. Another 5-1 that does not look like a 5-1.
No, there were so many moments that Lifeline could have easily taken a lot of these points, but Vaxei, how many, was that 3, 4 FCs?
I think it was at least 3.
It had to be at least 3 or 4. Yeah, I mean, that is a pretty fantastic performance. And unfortunately for Lifeline, in a 1v1 tournament, nobody else can throw you a line. It is just you left to stand alone against Vaxei, and usually that does work out pretty well. And Vaxei going to be coming out on top, moving on to the